Michael, this is a new future, I think, is where we're heading for Xbox. Amazon is now selling a, quote, no console required, end quote, Xbox bundle. This the future of Xbox. Robert Anderson over at IGN. Amazon has launched an Xbox, quote, no console required, quote, end quote, bundle, coinciding with the recent release of the Fire TV Stick Xbox Cloud gaming app. That is a mouthful. Enabling Xbox Game Pass users to stream games directly to their TVs without needing an Xbox console. You know what this is called? Stadia, and it's now dead. Way to go, Google. Quote, stream Xbox games, no console required, end quote, reads the Amazon listing, which also mentions how it's, quote, the only streaming media player with the Xbox app, end quote. The new bundle coincides with the Amazon Prime Day event that runs through July 16th to the 17th. Is currently listed at $78.99, a $40.99 savings versus buying the controller subscription and streaming stick separately. There are even multiple colors to choose from white, blue, and a green Xbox controller. Well, that'll make your day, Michael. Yeah, right? Now you're pumped. Game Pass Ultimate is also part of its own special promotion during the Prime Day sales, with Amazon giving away $7.50 in-store credit when users purchase 3 months of Game Pass. Moreover, the 4K Max Fire Stick is at its best price of the year, down to just $35. Michael, where are you at with this? Is this the future of Xbox? I think that really becomes the bigger question.
I think this might be the future of all consoles, to be honest, right? We've already kind of transitioned away from the brick and mortar stores into the just digital download, put it right on your console. And
yep.
I mean, I do get that feeling when I had a console. It's like, well, what is the point of this? You know, like, is there a better way than having to, you know, find a place to stay on this console so it doesn't get dirty, doesn't get dirt in it, doesn't get kicked over? So I feel like Xbox is ahead of the game on this one. I think, of course, right now the obvious downside is it's got to be a game on Xbox Game Pass. That's not always the case for some of the newer releases, but I think this is the future. I think, 2030, I bet you we don't have consoles anymore. I bet you we have everything like this where it's just plug in this Fire Stick, plug in whatever the Sony alternative is, and that's where your games are. They're right there. There is no more console, which is going to be weird to me to not have consoles anymore.
Dude, okay, I'm old, so straight up. I had a Coleco back in the day. Like, that's how I started gaming, thanks to my parents. And then from there, I've always had console, right? Stadia, Google comes out, we're like, we have the Stadia. What is this? This is the future. Doesn't last. Why? Because they didn't have games, they didn't have exclusives, they didn't have IPs, they didn't have a studio in-house except for Jade Raymond. One studio wasn't going to build their library out. Here's the bonus where Xbox comes into play. It goes, hey, we saw what Stadia was doing. Here's our shot at it. This is where we're going. Here's the cool part about it. Dude, when I had Stadia, I didn't have to worry about storage. Right now, I go to my Xbox. I have the 1 terabyte external memory card, something I never thought we'd go back into after I left the PlayStation 2 days of having to plug in a memory card and bring that along with me, right? So here we go. Now we're back into this with the Xbox Series X because I'm out of space. The cloud doesn't require me to have space. Doesn't require me to have a download for an update. It just plays the game. That is cool. Here's the problem. Latency. That is an issue, right? This does not run perfectly smooth. Some games, dude, you will never even feel a difference. But if you're going to play COD and go up competitively, the last thing you want to do is rely on your internet streaming it all. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You bring up the concern. That's why I gave us the 6-year window, right? 2030. I think this is going to have some hiccups. I think we're going to improve it. There's a lot of things they got to do, right? Again, there's a lot of games that we're going to find, okay, what if I want to play a game that's not on Game Pass? So I have to wait 4 or 5 months, but I like the step at least. And I never thought we'd be here. I never thought I'd see a no console required bundle ever. So I think it's at least cool we're starting to see it.
It's starting to come around. Xbox is about to open up the library. If they are allowing me to attach my library to this as well, opportunities that come around from that, right? Allow me. That's something they're working with the cloud streaming platform that they currently have. Their next goal is to allow us to tap into our actual library and not rely on just what's on the cloud and what's on Game Pass. allow me to grab my games that I currently have, the third-party games that aren't on your app but I own. Allow me to go into the Xbox store, buy a game, boom, start playing it immediately. No download. Dude, no longer will you have to download 250 gigs of Call of Duty. You can just play the game. You know what I mean? It is the future. Yeah.
Finally.
Dude, so much space.
I want to buy a game. You get all hyped. You sit down. 2 hours to download the game. All right. Well, there goes my hype. I guess I'll play it tomorrow.
Yeah, it is definitely a thing that's going to be going away sooner than later. I'm looking forward to it. My other thing now is, what's PlayStation working on? PlayStation has to have something up their sleeve, right, to be able to compete with this. They don't currently. They do have their own tiers of PlayStation Plus that allow you to stream games, and I just talked to you off screen about PlayStation Portal. The fact that I'm streaming to my PlayStation 5 in my bedroom as I'm going to crash for the night, but I'm going like, I got 10-15 minutes, I'm working on a review game, I'm going to work on this and play it and have a great time. But what else they got? They have to have something that's really going to kind of compete with Xbox. If you can just plug it right into your TV, no console required, and away you go with the controller, that's all you need, right? We are slowly starting to get, I think, to that level. But like you say, still sounds like we could be a few years away. We want to hear from you. Are you jumping in on this deal? It sounds like a pretty sweet deal. ITGTV.com.